We wake up and your best friend tells you there was an earthquake, but I dismiss it because I don't trust her. Then you check the news. It happened. It was the biggest yet in a series of quakes felt through the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. I wake up, the bed's still shaking, my heart's beating fast, I'm in shock, I can't move. Mom comes in. ¿Lo sentiste?" she asks, worried. It takes me a second or two to reply, "Sí, lo sentí." Then I stay on my bed, sitting on the edge, still in shock of what just happened, reflecting a bit, coming to the conclusion that this is it. I must now be the man of the house, as they say, and be the leader I was born to be. I looked through news feeds, searching for info about the quake. It was a 6 point something. No wonder it shook the entire island and took some infrastructure with it. Dad calls from Abuela's house. He's in panic. The room he was in shook in its entirety, taking down all sorts of objects that were on the walls. And when he went to check on Abuela, she was on the floor. Apparently, she was going to the bathroom and the quake took her down. Mom and I try to calm him down, and he does. The shock really took a hold of him. But in the end, I guess he was just happy we were all okay. I tried calling you, but the phone activity is terrible. Looks like it suffered from the quake. But eventually I reach you, and I tell you I love you. Many, many times, all while asking if you were okay. And you were. You even went to work at your two jobs. Every day. Your bravery and fearlessness surprises me more and more, because usually you would be afraid of other minor things. We wait for a few hours until the sun starts to come up. No sleep whatsoever. The replicas kept us up, and the idea of another big quake lingered in our thoughts. Titi calls. She needs help getting inside Abuela's house, so we go there. And before we arrive, there's another replica. A quick one, but a big one. Over 5, close to 6. We didn't feel it on the way there, but Titi and the rest of the peeps in Abuela's neighborhood definitely did. Everybody stands and sits outside of their homes. The quake left them in shock. No risks are gonna be taken, so nobody goes back in. At least not for a few hours. We leave your house as ready as it can be in case of another quake, then we take you with us back home for a few hours. Eventually, Titi takes you back to your house and she stays with you. You're safer now. Hopefully the quakes will end soon. The lines are starting in each and every gas station. Memories of Maria immediately come back. God, this is awful. Hopefully this will end soon, though it doesn't seem like it, according to science. I listen to the voice on the radio, trying to understand the situation and what must be done in case of emergency. We pack up our gear in 4 bags and leave it near the door. I feel we're ready, but with the unpredictability of this force of nature, one is never ready. We search for food and BK is full, so we go to the pizzeria, the new Marco's Pizza next to Mercado's Bakery, and we take advantage of the situation. Rick and I buy pizza so we can eat now. Mom buys bread so we can eat later in the morning. Not a bad plan, so we celebrated back home. The power went off as soon as the first quake hit. It still hasn't come back. Various neighbors start firing up their power plants. I just stay calm and write my thoughts away, while staying aware of any sudden quake. I look at the pictures that are shared across the web and I feel sad for my fellow Boricuas in neighboring municipalities, and I fear for what the future might bring. But I try to keep calm. I'm the leader now, or at least the co-leader, and I must do my best to keep my family safe. The sun slowly fades away as I charge my phone and write this poem. It suddenly feels like tomorrow early in the morning. We'll be hit by another earthquake. We're scared, but we do our best to be prepared. It's night again and the fear kicks in and the questions begin. When will it happen again? Am I ready enough? Will we survive past today? Barely slept last night. Woke up every hour and half hour. A few quakes happened, then I really couldn't sleep. However, I am more rested today than yesterday because yesterday I had only slept an hour before the big quake. Seems like things will be better today. Hopefully they will. A few small quakes just happened. Fuck, things were looking bright. Now this happens and the fear escalates. I try to stay calm. I gotta be ready for whatever. Mom leaves to check out her office and see if she can fill the Corolla's gas tank. I'm in charge of Rick and whatever happens. I tell him what to do so he's ready. The quakes have stopped for now. I take all of my Proetria film and idea notebooks and I take pictures of all of the ideas I don't have on my phone, drive, or cloud. Of course, there are tons of more notebooks and portfolios with Poetria film and ideas. I just take pictures of those that I have easy access to. Now, I don't have to worry so much for the material. It can be replaced. But the people you love and ideas, Poetria, stories you create cannot. So I try to keep them all safe from whatever danger Mother Nature throws at us. All is good so far. Hopefully yesterday was the worst, and the rest of the year will stay calm. No more quakes or canes to come. We come to National to buy batteries. Mom and Rick go inside. I wait in the car, charging the cell phones and serving as the getaway driver. Suddenly there's a quake. The car shakes. I panic because there's a light post behind me. It stopped. It was a small one. Breathe, inhale, exhale, breathe. Seems like no one felt it. I might be going crazy. We visit Abuela to help her out with a few things. All's good right now. This is the most frequent I've seen her in a while. The guilt trip begins. Not by her or Mom or Rick. It's all me. I tell her I love her. Then I go look at some of the family pictures around the house. I find a few with me and Rick, others with my cousins, many more with Mom and my tias. But there's one in particular that captures my attention. It makes me cry and smile at the same time. It's one of the last to feature Abuelo and Abuela together before he passed away. It seems to be part of their wedding anniversary. They're both smiling. It's a beautiful picture. I take a picture of it so I can have it with me. It will forever serve as a memory of those great family moments that we must forever cherish. On the radio, they mentioned that one of the power plants, Costa del Sur, will apparently work in about a month. Another voice says it'll take a year. I don't know if that power plant provides energy to my home. I can handle a month, but a year will be challenging. Still no power, but we do have water. There were a few quakes last night. I think I only felt one. In a way, I'm happy they're happening because the energy is being released, which is supposed to be a good thing. So if that's really true, then let them keep happening, especially at that lower level. The gas tank is full on both cars. That's one mission accomplished. We need to buy water soon just to be prepared. That's the next mission on the list. Last night I recorded a podcast. It felt kind of weird doing it all alone, letting stress flow. My friends are doing good. One even has power. But one of them's family is not so good. They lost part of their house and I think are living in shelters. I don't do this often, but I'ma pray for them. The same goes for my fam. My fam is doing good. Some got power, others don't. Same situation as everybody else. This whole experience is something new. I just hope the worst is through. So in time due, we can share our truth. Dear Guanica, Mom thinks you might become a ghost town in the near future. That your people will fear going back and basically migrate to other towns and cities. I hope it doesn't happen. You have so much to offer, especially your nature. When everything calms down, I hope your people, with the help of others, will restore you to your glory. I pray for you, dear Guanica. I pray for you. Read a lot today, around 4 to 5 books. Still no power, still have water. Ate lunch/dinner. Not much of a line in the drive-thru. That's good. They continue to mention on the radio that the quakes continue to be level 4 and lower. Hopefully the 6 point whatever was the worst, and the ones left continue to be level 4 and lower. People from Guanica currently live in our Plaza Sabaneña, or so I've been told. Mom took clothes over there and gave them to the people in need. It isn't much, but it'll hopefully keep them warm. According to the news, politicians don't help and take advantage of the crisis to build their future campaigns. But hey, what's new? Am I right? The power came back last night at exactly 11 p.m. We managed to sleep well despite the few low-level quakes. We didn't even notice. Now, as I go to La Panaderia, I see things going back to normal. The pharmacy near my house is open. There are no lines in the gas stations. However, there is a line at Tito Snacks. But that's pretty normal in a Sabana Grande morning. Just like the people I'm seeing right now. People walking, running, and cycling across the avenue as part of their morning routine. Yes, things seem to be getting back to normal. Hopefully they'll stay that way and continue to get better as the quakes stay at low levels and destruction is nowhere to be found. Today is Dad's birthday and I just hope he makes it here alright because the streets across the south aren't very good. If things stay good, I would also love it if he would arrive and the power was still on. He deserves somewhat of a good B-day. These past few months, he hasn't been able to be at home much, but he's always been a great husband, father, and son. So yeah, he deserves a good birthday. Hopefully the circumstances will allow it. Another book read and chaos ensues in my home, and it's not because of a quake, no. It's because of a wide array of sounds, the fridge, radio, Titi, and Mom on the phone with my other Titi. I was going to read another one immediately, but this combination of noises makes it impossible. Oh well, at least I got to write this poem. Papi llega y me cuenta de abuela, la cosa no se ve buena. Eso pienso y le pregunto, ¿la ves pensando este año? Mientras aguanto las lágrimas. Papi me dice que sí, pero no le creo. La cosa no se ve buena para mi querida abuela. Just felt a big one, or at least it felt like a big one. Mom, Dad, and I managed to run outside. Well, Dad was in the truck. Meanwhile, Rick was taking a shower. Thankfully, nothing bad happened while we were scared shitless. I'm still trying to calm down after what was apparently a level 5.4 quake. After last night's quake, I barely got any sleep, so I've spent most of this morning reading Garcia Marquez, trying to keep myself distracted. But suddenly, after eating breakfast and reading more Garcia Marquez, a quake hits, and we all run out of the house, with me accidentally breaking one of Mom's crystal vases along the way. We wait outside until things calm down a bit. Mom calls Abuela multiple times and there's no response. We gather our things and leave to check her out, as well as other things that must be met. Abuela's all good, fantastic news. Mom stays with her for a while. Dad, Rick, and I go to Maya. I don't see much. I fall asleep and catch a few Z's. Hay dos grietas en la casa que me preocupan. Ojalá no pase nada. No sabría qué hacer si perdiera a mi familia. Dad and Rick watch TV to keep the mind at ease. I should join them, or I'll be killed by the stress. The quakes just keep going and going and going and going and going, and they won't stop for quite some time. I'm tired of this already. I can't imagine what it must feel like to be closer. Apparently, 2 people have committed suicide due to the stress caused by the quakes. But those are the ones we know. Who knows if there are more? Felt a few light ones throughout the day, but now at around 7 to 8, I felt a bigger one. It shook a few things in the house. God, this won't end. The Yuki and his fam are planning to leave the island. I don't know if it was already a plan, but the quakes made it come more into form. I don't doubt many others will do the same, just like what happened in those Maria days. Dad called after leaving to stay with Abuela to make sure all was good, and now I worry for him and Abu. Hope all goes good. Muchachos, eso están los tapones de la gente que viene con suministro, Mom told me in her own unique way. And then I checked social media and it was all true. El pueblo se había unido para hacer lo que el gobierno no hace. First day back at my contract job as a teacher after Christmas, New Year, Reyes, and the quakes. It was stressful, to say the least. But it went well. A few quakes, but nothing big to be felt. Hopefully the next few days will be as good. Only 6 more days to go. Only 6. Things seem to be getting normal for us. Last night there were minor quakes, but we didn't feel them. Hopefully things will continue this way and we can kick this nightmare to the curb. I find myself constantly Googling the phrase temblores en Puerto Rico hoy, and from there going to the Red Sísmica's website. Before all of this, I don't think I had ever visited that website. Fear and insecurities have got a hold on me. Not many quakes recently. Things seem to be slowly going back to normal in that sense, but we still fear. Uncertainty is our master now. It was all good until a 5.2 or so hit us in the middle of the class. Naturally, my students freaked out. Then we struggled to finish the class peacefully. Nothing big yesterday, just a 4.2. We still fear though. Tranquil days taken for granted. A 5-level quake hits. Everyone's scared again. I didn't feel it during the movie, but as I entered the next one, people were afraid and laughed at the warning shown by the movie theater. The fear comes back. The fear never went away. The fear will always last, as long as the quakes continue. Otro en los 5 y me llegan los textos de histeria. No lo sentí, Rick tampoco. Estábamos en la carretera, que con tanto roto parecía un temblor. Llego a mi destino y veo el nivel. Vaya qué cosa tan intensa en las redes, todo en suspenso. Todavía el miedo no se acaba. Y con este más reciente esto continuará. Ya estoy loco porque esto cambie y todo vuelva a lo normal. It's the first big quake in a while and I felt nothing. I remember semi-waking up with my mouth wide open, so open in fact that a fly or cockroach could come in without me noticing. Sorry I sidetracked. Point is, it was the first big quake in a while and I felt nothing. I only found out when Mom and Dad talked about it out loud, and my friends talked about it on WhatsApp, and Twitter was blowing up. La cosa no se calma. 2020 has been apocalyptic. What else is gonna happen? Los temblores vuelven y casas se derrumban junto a montañas en medio de una epidemia. No me imagino cómo estarán el resto de las hermanas del suroeste en tiempos difíciles que se ponen más difíciles. It's been a few days since the last quakes, but the uncertainty makes it feel like they will never end, and history tells me that they'll continue to happen. The future seems uncertain, but we just gotta deal with it and adapt.